have an update for you on my health. So I moved in here 7 months ago, back in March, and I was feeling a little better, but I never actually fully recovered. Like some days I was doing really good, other days I was just let down, and it just felt really weird. I just couldn't figure out how I was not stable at all. Like if you think about recovery, it makes sense to go down a little bit, but like why is it always different day by day? I was so confused. And I was like, like always cleaning like crazy. I got the AC device cleaned out multiple times, like very thoroughly after summer too. And then I got the inside of my air purifier cleaned out too, because I knew there was mold particles inside, and I just couldn't get out of the thought of like having the particles coming out, even though it's not technically possible as it's claimed. But I don't trust anything. But anything like I could think of, I cleaned out everything in this house. It's not humid. It's super dry. It's actually like 26% right now. It's crazy. So like there's no mold anywhere in the room. There's no way there's mold in this room. I was like, I cleaned out everything. Like there's nothing I could do. Like, but I'm reacting to something and it's got to be mold. And I knew my air purifier was tracking VOC, and I have filters everywhere, and it filters out PM 2.5 or like 10 or whatnot. Like it clears out everything. But then the VOC fluctuates a lot. And I'm not doing anything. Right now I'm standing here, I'll be like shampooing, taking a shower, like cooking might change it a little bit, but in general, if I'm sitting right here, it never affects anything. It never detects any odor. Very fast forward, so it kept detecting like weird odor, which I never knew where it was coming from, like overnight, and I would get sick. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, I'll be like sitting here working, and I'll have like vertigo sometimes. And I was like, what the hell? And one time I was like changing the filter right there. It's like it's like a inlet vent that holds in air to ventilate the whole space, which is like part of the system. So I go there, and one day I was changing one of the filters, and the old filter is dirty looking, and it smells like fabric softener. And I was like, wait, that's crazy. I know my neighbor uses this crazy amount of fabric softener. I know that, but that's pretty crazy. So I was like, starting to connect the dots. So they're doing laundry overnight, and it's detecting odor overnight, and that's making me sick. Okay. And so I go outside when it was detecting some odor. And I was like, okay, it smells like fabric softener. So I went outside, and it smells like fabric softener plus sewage water. And I was like, what the hell? So if anyone was breathing sewage water air, they would get sick eventually. Like even if they're pretty healthy, they would eventually get sick. If you sleep next to a sewage space, you would get sick 100%. So I called the landlord, and they called my neighbor who was blowing air into the balcony. I'll show you. So that's the inlet. And then my neighbor's outlet vent is like pretty far away. It's pretty crazy. Like that. I was like, yeah, holy crap, that's what's been making me sick all these months. And that's why I never recovered fully. And also connected the dots that some days I was doing pretty well. And that was because my neighbor was away. So when my landlord called him, she was out for a month, and they suspected that the trapping water in your the drain entrance has evaporated, and that happens when you're away for a while, which makes sense. But it's not just that the odor intensified because of that, but it's highly likely that her space is really moldy to the point where it emits an odor that reaches my space and kind of permeates it. It's crazy. I don't think I can live here anymore. So my apartment complex, it has a scheduled high pressure water cleaning down the pipe, water pipe, which I'm pretty excited about because, it sounds like it would make it cleaner. And they're planning to do that on my neighbor's place too, but I just don't trust anything, yeah, it would clean it out a little bit, but if her space is moldy to that extent, I don't know if I can like ever breathe in clean air that I can like actually use as a source of energy. This is like absolutely crazy, but this happens to people, so I just thought I would let you know. What I'm doing right now is, like I showed you, I have a filter outside as well, and I have those like multiple layers of filters, and this is actually like MERV 13 kind of equivalent filters, like multiple layers of it, plus like a HEPA filter, and over that I have like 2 layers of these activated charcoal filter. So like mold spores, mycotoxins, or fragrant particles are way smaller than those PM or whatever particles. It's like gassy. So those smaller filters don't really work, to be honest. So what you have to do is use activated charcoal to kind of just suck that particle in and detoxify it. So that's the idea. So I cut a roll of charcoal, activated charcoal filters, and just attach them on here. But guys, it doesn't work. Well, it does work a little bit, but it doesn't work. So as soon as my neighbor comes home, she runs a vent, and I get VOC. It's not working. So I'm mentally pretty messed up. My life looks like a mess, like I'm like all over the place, kind of just like not finishing tasks, like kind of confused. And, I don't want to move again, well, the move is fine. I'm used to it. This is my third time moving within a year, which is kind of crazy, but not really. I can move. But the thing is, like, the uncertainty of moving and getting things better, because I don't know. I actually do not know at this point, because even if I visit an apartment beforehand multiple times, there's no way I could make sure that my neighbors like not emitting mold. I can't control it, like I can't tell. I'm sorry, like I can clean the place, I can make sure that the place is clean in the first place, and I can keep on cleaning, but I cannot control what my neighbors do and what they emit into the shared air. There's nothing I can do about it. So I feel like I have to move out of the city. I can't be close to people because I can't trust them. They're crazy. What the fuck?